nothing's happening. You're boring then. They have to go somewhere else or they're gonna fucking starve, right? They're gonna fucking starve. Welcome back to Simply Clarifying. It's me, Kara. We already know we've been here, we've done that, blah 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 blah. Today though, we're gonna get into something a little bit like it just hits this last couple weeks because I've had some struggles, right? With everything going on. It's very easy to feel defeated and irritated and annoyed and everything else. And there are some times where like I will get off the phone, something will have triggered me or just really annoyed the fuck out of me, and it's like I could hold on to this all day and just get, a little bit, and it just starts to like progress. Okay. So typically I take a couple minutes to myself and then I go make another phone call and it's like, hey, this last phone call that we just had kind of bugged me. Here's why. And then I proceed to stick up for myself because one, I am a human. Okay. I can do a lot of shit and I can get a lot of shit done, but I do have a breaking point. I do have a wall that I slam into occasionally, and it's not great. But I've come to realize, especially as I have these birthdays, that it's okay to not do everything by myself and to not get everything done day one. I am still a powerhouse, okay? Let's get that. There's a lot of shit I can get done. Typically, if I say I'm going to do something, I don't say it unless I mean it, right? And so I get the shit done. My stuff, I've got like kids, like school's done now, everything like that shit's wrapped up. So that's a big thing off my plate. But now we're getting ready to move. So I've got all these people that I'm dealing with and contractors and realtors and all of this stuff I have to do. And a lot of it falls on me because I'm the manager of the house or whatever. You know what I mean? And that's totally fine. But realistically, I'm still a human and like I need some realistic timelines and stuff like that. So that is my particular thing. But I know several people going through several different things to where they don't make that second phone call. Like if they were me, they would have been annoyed, but they would have kept it. They would have put it in a little box, set it on a shelf up here, pushed it back as far as they could, but then like throughout the day, things just keep getting added to that box. Added, added, added. And then before you know it, somehow it gets to the edge of that shelf in their mind. And then eventually it just fucking falls off the shelf and everything that was crammed into that fucking box floods out. You know what I mean? And that's not good. So as annoying as it is for some of the other people involved at times, be it friends, family, my husband, doesn't matter, might be irritating for them that I go ahead and just kind of like hit the nail from the get go and just be like, hey, I'm annoyed. But that's because I've gone through that quiet stage, that hold on, that let me keep the peace and just kind of it's doable. It's operable if I can hold on to the chaos in my own mind, and then everyone else out here is like totally fine and everything's good and rosy and blah 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 blah. Okay, reality now, if I'm not good here, it's not going to be good out here. So if I'm starting to feel where I'm getting overloaded, overwhelmed, like fucking anxious or exhausted or whatever, like I'm going to say those things. I could go 3 days working 10 hours packing or this, that, whatever. And then on that fourth day, I could be like, look, I'm not doing a fucking thing today. That's it. Oh, but there's stuff that needs to be done. Very well. That's great. But it's not going to be done by me. Not today. Now, tomorrow's another animal. We'll attack that when we get there. But today, and I just like to be kind of forthcoming like that. Now, I wasn't always like that. So why do some people, and that's, to me, I feel like that's standing up for myself. Okay. Because one, my body hurts. I'm tired. My brain's fucking exhausted. Like I still have to do everything in the house with the kids, with the groceries, with the bills, blah, 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 blah. Like life doesn't stop just because this big thing plopped itself down on my fucking, it doesn't stop, right? It doesn't stop. It just adds to what I already have. And if I was some cyborg's, super whatever, maybe that would be different, but I'm not, right? And I'm not too proud these days to be like, listen, bitch, I'm fucking tired. I need a minute. Just let me just play a video game, pig out on some snack food, and just like, let me just be. Let me just exist, right? Like, yeah. That to me these days is sticking up for myself because I don't have to break my body. I don't have to drive myself insane to prove any kind of points. Like, my family knows that I'm a fucking powerhouse and I'm this great whatever. Like, I've already proved it time and time again. And I'm not done proving it, but still, I get to a point where it's like, okay, all right. So, anyway, but I know so many people that have different things going on and they don't speak up. They'll tell me, but then it just kind of gets pushed like, it's kind of like the red flag thing. You know what I mean? Or like, why do we excuse things? It's just like, well, that's kind of how that person is, whatever. Or, well, it's been this long, so it's fine. Is it fine? Like, we've done that too. What fine really means? Yeah. So why don't some people? Like, that was my question today. Why do some people find it so hard to stand up for themselves? In a lot of ways, you know what I mean? Like, when you're younger, maybe it's like you don't want to stir the pot, you don't want to make anyone angry, you just kind of want to, yeah. So let's see. Finding it hard to stand up for yourself usually stems from deeply ingrained psychological patterns, past social conditioning, or a fear of negative consequences. For many individuals, staying quiet feels like a necessary survival mechanism to maintain safety or social connection, even if it leads to personal resentment. Right? So, like, everyone's had that one friend who's like habitually quiet, right? And they're always positive and they've got the quiet smile. But then, like, you wonder when they go home sometimes, are those the people that buy plates just to break them, like screaming into pillows and lighting little things on fire just to, like, I don't know. I don't know. So, it, I know why I would hold some things in. And I didn't hold that much in. We'll just get that out. I say like I was this you know, quiet I've never been a quiet person. There were just some things where it's like, okay, let me just be annoyed upstairs and just like whatever, it's not a big deal. I've done that. Guilty on that. I don't do it anymore. Not really. If it's like little things that's actually like, I don't know, like somebody didn't start the washer after I asked them to. Like, it's annoying as fuck and it'll probably go on for the rest of my days, but like it's not anything that's gonna hit a catastrophic button up there for me. Okay, so fear of conflict and rejection. All right. So confrontation anxiety. The anticipation of an argument triggers a physical stress response, causing some people to freeze up or lose their words. As in, they would want to say something like in that moment, like, hey, I don't feel comfortable with this. Hey, I'm irritated or whatever. However, if they're talking to a person, there is a chance that that person could take what they're saying and run totally negative, throw it back in their face, and make them feel like absolute garbage. And that would make the somebody who probably takes a lot of talking up just to be able to spit that shit out. Yeah. Fear of disapproval. Same thing. Like, I've had people tell me, no, you're wrong, blah, 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 or they've straight cut me off because of something. And not like it was a huge loss, but it's like, that's one of those things. And even the thought of that to some people is just like crippling or anxious, anxiety riddled. Um, yeah. So catastrophizing. Anyway, we'll just go with that. A cognitive distortion where a person assumes that a major boundary disagreement will inevitably result in worst case scenarios like losing a job or ending a relationship. Have you ever been someone to listen to someone's story and you really, really want to tell them something, whether it's give advice or like share a story that's similar or something, but you hold yourself back because you think this person is so fragile right now. And if I say something to where they think I'm against them in any kind of way, they're just going to yell at me. They're not going to talk to me anymore. Like they're never going to share with me again. Like it's just going to be over. Like you start to spiral a little bit. You take this one little nugget and it just starts like spider web cracking across. Yeah. Like I think we all have done that in some form or fashion, be it with friends, family, whatever. That kind of stuff used to bother me. I used to think about that a lot, and it took me a good bit of time to really not give a lot of fucks on how people react to me or see me, I guess. I don't know. I'm pretty straightforward with one, don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. And I'll say that. Like if somebody's starting to tell me a story or whatever, and it comes with a question, I say it's kind of like a disclaimer, right? Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. If you're going for a, philosophical, hypothetical situation, Google. You know what I mean? Go into an anonymous fucking Reddit or something and then just like go that way. If you're coming to me and asking a question, I will give you the answer. And I'll hear your stuff, but I'm going to give you the answer of like what's computing up here. I'm not going to carefully sketch all of the better ways. You know what I mean? Like maybe if you're sounding a little ridiculous, I'm not going to be like, you're fucking stupid from the get go. I mean, we might get there. We might get there. Sometimes you need to get there because some people need to hear that sometimes. But anyway, yeah, so childhood conditioning and past trauma, so like people pleasing habits, fear of authority, learned helplessness. So past experiences with, say, bullies or unsupportive environments can convince someone that speaking up is futile and will not change their circumstances, which is very, very, very sad. And this is what I have to instill in like my younger kids, particularly the one that just finished elementary. Like she's got this amazing good spirit, this wonderful heart and everything else. She's very curious mind and she's very socially driven and everything like that. However, she's had her deal with bullies and things like that. And here's the thing, we kind of bring it up as like bullies are like trolls or some kind of monsters, right? Every time you give them a reaction, it's kind of like giving the troll or the monster like a treat, right? So if they see that they're pushing your buttons and they're getting a response, they're always going to come back because you're an easy like fix, you know? For whatever reason, people are assholes to other kids. I mean, it's just that whatever it is, that it is what it is. You know, how people respond and react to it, that's a different thing. Now, it can hurt your feelings. And it does. It does hurt your feelings. I've had bullies. I mean, it's not great, but how you react, how you display yourself. Like you have to have, and I've told her this several times, you have to have this kind of like invisible armor padded on you every time you leave and be prepared for the assholeish people, which is a horrible thing to have to do. But if you expect that at least 1 in every 10 people you run against is a fucking asshole, moronic dickface, I mean, you're not going to be surprised when you actually collide with one of those. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, you just don't feed the fucking monster. And that's it. Like, you just don't. You do either you look through this person, you're just like, oh, that's nice. And then you walk away because when they feel that, oh, nothing's happening, you're boring then. They have to go somewhere else or they're going to fucking starve, right? They're going to fucking starve. Just don't feed the monsters or whatever. So people who, though, have believed the words of the monsters and the bullies and stuff like that, maybe they tried when they were little to, tell somebody or whatever, and maybe nothing happened. I've had a lot of experience with that as well. And it's not great, but eventually you have to learn that you are your best ally, right? Nobody knows you better than you. And you know what you're capable of. You know what you should put up with, what you shouldn't even bother entertaining. Like, it's very sad. Very sad sometimes. Low self-esteem and distorted beliefs. Internalized perceptions of self-worth, my God, strongly influence a person's willingness to set boundaries, like undervalued needs. Okay, low self-esteem can make a person genuinely believe their feelings, time, or preferences are less valuable than everyone else around them. That's horrible. Horrible. Black and white thinking. Many passive individuals operate under the false assumption that they must choose between being a silent pushover or being aggressively rude. That's no. A healthy assertiveness, the balance in between those things is what I'm talking about. Now, like, if somebody came up and spit in my face, I'm not going to be like, oh, oh, and walk on. No, I'm probably going to get a little loud and I might even throw some hands, okay? But that's just like a retaliation situation. In the same respect, I'm not going to be the fucking idiot who goes up and like in someone's face. Like, I'm just not going to do that. Like, I'm a good human, I'm a decent person, and even though it's way not common these days, like common sense, common courtesy. Once upon a time they were common. You know what I mean? Like, as in most people did it. Now everyone's got like, we won't even get into that. But anyway, so perfectionism is another part. The desire to handle every situation flawlessly can paralyze individuals, making them stay quiet because they cannot think of the perfect response in the moment. Kind of like a Brie Vandekamp, like Desperate Housewives, you know what I mean? Like, she always had that face on, and you might have been working some tactical situations behind the fake smile or whatever, but like, how exhausting would that life be? Oh my God. Like, just, I'm one of those people that are quick on the quips in a situation. So, like, if someone's being snarky or whatever, I'll either throw something back real quick or I'll hit them with their own shit. And it's just like, that's just how I've adapted in social situations. So, I'm not going to be the person that's cowering in the corner or like thinking that somebody's mean or whatever. Like, I'm pretty good at handling my own when it comes to other people talking shit or whatever, you know what I mean? And it really just makes me it makes me sad when not everyone can do that. Okay. So, the downsides when you're dealing with this shit in like a relationship, a friendship, in your family, whatever. You're talking erosion of self-worth and identity. Almost got me, but I caught it. Loss of identity. Constantly, deferring to someone else's interests or whatever. Have you ever had the nod along friend? Like, you say, hey, let's go do this. Even if it's not their bag, they'll just go. Right? Now, sometimes that's because, hey, they actually want to go and be a part of it. Some of it, like, they're dying inside. They're like, no, I don't want to go. But then they go because they don't want you to be like disappointed or whatever. Like, I feel a lot of dynamics, whether it's the family, like there's just, I feel like there's always that kind of dynamic. At least once in your life, you'll run into someone like that. So self-resentment, another one. You begin to feel angry at yourself for your perceived weakness or leading to a deep drop in overall self-esteem. So you continuously do this and you don't stick up for yourself and you just keep nodding and going along with everything. And eventually, quietly, behind closed doors, you get irritated with yourself. Like, God, why'd you say you're going to go? You hate to do that. Da, da, da. And then you're like fighting with yourself. Exhausting. Exhausting. Which causes internalized stress, which just leads to a lot of different things. Fucking fatigue, headaches, moodiness, fucking depression. Like, that's the gateway going into a lot of that. And that's crazy. You also can start to get like a chronic resentment or emotional distance because at some point, some people just like to go through the motions. Like, they're just so accustomed to just going along with what everyone says that they don't even put their own feelings into it anymore. And that's fucking crazy. That's crazy. So we'll wrap it up with why it's good to be positive, but also honest when you're not so positive. Okay, this is where a lot of people have the trouble. They think that if they're this positive person, that means they have to nod and smile and do everything that comes about, and they're not allowed to kind of speak up for themselves or stand up or whatever. So, balancing positivity with honesty, a concept Jesus Christ, psychologists call tragic optimism. Okay. Or flexible optimism creates a resilient mind. Striking the balance ensures you reap the benefits of a hopeful outlook without falling into the trap of toxic positivity, which forces a fake happy face over real pain. Combining both traits provides distinct psychological, physical, and social advantages. All right, so mental health and emotional resilience is very good. Like reducing the cognitive load, you get authentic hope. It's not just a fake, like, it's not just words that you're saying because you're actually taking care of yourself. You're actually, there's lower cortisol, there's better coping mechanisms. Like, what's going on inside your mind when you actually stick up for yourself and you say what you're feeling and everything else, you kind of get out of that resentment stage, that, God, I wish my life was different stage, because essentially you're putting yourself, your needs, your wants, your thoughts, all of the stuff, you're putting it out on the table. So anyone who's not willing to like pick it up like you do with so many other people, fuck them. you know, it's just deeper, more authentic relationships, right? Relatability and trust. If you're someone that has vulnerability, right? As soon as you start letting things out in real time, where it's not like a boil over situation where you're holding on to nuggets and then you fucking explode and end up on a season of Snapped or whatever, it's that relatability that you are a real person going through real things, you have real feelings, real thoughts, and everything else, which kind of makes it, you've got this ooey gooey center that people actually like and trust, right? Like, I don't go to the people who smile and nod and tell them my biggest, heaviest things, because all I'm gonna get is mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. And what is that? you know? I don't need that. So emotional agility in practice, conflict resolution, higher quality support, for sure. I know that when you listen to somebody who just kind of gives surface level explanations of things, just to kind of, these are the people that like nod along and they don't share the deep stuff. They just kind of give surface level details like, hey, what was your bad day like yesterday? Oh, I dropped my ice cream. And that's it. It's like, okay, but like, how'd that make you feel? Oh, it's fine. Paper towel and just, bleh. It's like, if there's something else going on, spit it out. Let it out. It out. Like, all I'm saying is that there's been a couple times, even these past couple weeks, where I've had to just kind of like draw lines in the sand and be like, hey, I get that there are deadlines. I get that there are things. I get that there are like a lot. There's a lot going on and a lot of it falls on me. But here's the deal. I'm not going to kill myself just because somebody puts a date on a paper. Okay. I'm not going to cut everything else out just to make this one thing the only thing that I do. I can't do it. I won't do it. So when I take breaks going through these situations and I'm just kind of left with my thoughts and everything, like, I feel better. I'm not holding on to this resentment, this anger, this whatever through the days. And I'm not like, shoving shit into boxes because I'm pissed off or what. Like, me letting it be known in real time how I'm feeling, what I've done, what I'm doing, what I plan to do, all of that stuff, like, it might not make everybody happy, but it makes me happy because I'm not the one then with the pressure valve fucking closed while I'm expected to do all of this shit and more. And when I sit and take breaks in these moments doing this stuff, it makes me think of all the people that have other things going on who just kind of quietly dismiss it. And this is for you to be like, letting you know that it's okay, and in fact it's actually good, better, great to let the shit out in real time, because eventually the box fills up and eventually it'll tip over. And something very small can trigger some fireworks bullshit. And I'm telling you, it's just way better to be slightly irritated, aggravated in the moment, and then you get over it. You know what I mean? You get past it. However, it works itself out. It's just better. So anyway, we'll wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend, rest of your Friday, all that good stuff. And yeah, if this got heavy, I'm sorry. And if it was all over the place, well, that's just me and my whatever I'm labeled. You know what I mean? Sorry. I'm sorry, not sorry. But anyway, hopefully you guys have a good one, and we will see you next time. And now to do absolutely nothing.